What up, everyone?
Hey, don't take my hey.
Oh, I covered it up.
Hey.
I'm sorry. What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up?
Happy Thursday. A day early
That's right.
when we normally are. All good. Sometimes based off of our schedule, we just gotta get things done. And I think our commitment to ourselves and our commitment to anybody else that's choosing to listen to us. Biggest thing is that we're just consistent and getting a couple out per week, and we've got a couple of meetings tomorrow, and Fat's got a couple things for himself as well, and so just getting that in a day early and making sure we keep content consistent.
Good content.
Good content.
Yeah,
I think it matters. I think size matters.
Do you?
Yeah. And hey, full disclosure.
Easy to say as a big dude, just FYI.
And I don't. Listen.
Not to take anything away from you. It's easy to say when you're a giant man.
I appreciate that. And listen, that's super flattering. And I don't think most people know that you knew how big I was.
That's right.
But under this table, man, I bring the thunder.
You guys don't.
That's why Eli I throw the hammer down.
Right.
Darn it. God darn it.
Yep.
Hey, and for those of you that are watching or listening, I'm saying God darn it because apparently social media doesn't like it too much cursing.
They don't.
They do. They're okay with it if you're running video and it's organic and it's all good. If you are trying to create a campaign or throw some advertisements out there, they're not going to support your advertisements.
Yeah.
If you're cursing. So just in case that was a great one-liner about my hammer.
Yeah, don't get used to it, though.
And I don't think that's going to be a one-liner.
We're normally cursing, so
we're
don't get
idiots.
used to it. Yeah.
Just right out of the gate, right? I'm sorry, Kate.
Yeah.
I promise this is it. I promise this is not a podcast about my hammer.
That's awesome.
It's a you started that in the first place. Why am I still continuing it? Look, and now everyone knows how big I am.
I was actually just talking about like your shoulders and your arms and just normal like guy size.
Listen to you. You don't even believe you right
That's
now.
Exactly what I was talking. What do you think I was talking about?
You know what you were talking about. Don't try to slide into my verbal DM over here. You know what you were talking about. I'll talk to you later.
You're physically just a big dude. That's what I was referencing, but
you were talking about my proportions. I know what it is.
There you go.
And it's like,
you
I
can
know.
put it that way.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You make it seem like I'm super familiar with it. Like, Eli, you definitely know, but...
Well, I know you know. I knew you. I saw you creeping on me. Why are you blushing? Is he as red as those curtains back there, Fat?
Just about, dude.
Put the camera on him.
Just about. I'm sure.
I'm not going to talk. Just put the camera on him. Red as shit.
Looks like a cherry.
Guilty.
Tomato.
Oh, you're a ripe cherry. All
right,
man. I'll tell you what. That's going to be a great podcast for another day when we're more idiots.
Yeah.
But being specific to the topic today, size does matter, and we're going to get into depth versus width when it comes to just growing your company, growing your network, and and a lot of it is going to come down to social media. I don't know if you're taking notes over there. I think, a great topic or a great subtopic for that is social media and how we're approaching that. I think another topic is in person and what you're doing there. And, we've mentioned this before as far as like, old schoolers that are just completely against social media and they just don't want to learn it or it's just not their time. And so they just frown upon it before they even try it. And then you've got, we're going to call it, millennials and younger,
new schoolers, yeah.
And not everyone. This is not I'm not trying to make a blanket statement, but just for the lack of a better, more accurate statement, millennials and under only knowing social media and then expecting a direct ROI or expecting to just conquer the world because they can capture everything through social media.
Yeah.
And they want 10 million followers, right? They want 10,000 likes on a video and versus some more accurate reach where people that are watching your content actually know you because you've built a relationship. So I don't know if you want to write some notes over there if you want me to, and you want to go over integration. So social media / real life integration. And while you're talking, I'm going to write that down. What the hell is this?
Hey, can't write with that. That's the wrong kind of pen, bro.
Eli, hey, when he told me size matters, he was down there beating his bean. This is one of those little buzzers, isn't it? Is it a little bzz?
That's exactly
what it is. He's got a bean beater with him. What is this?
Funny. I don't know. You have it in your hands.
Oh my God, you're so bad.
Wrong kind of pen.
You're so bad.
All right, there's a pen that works.
So naughty.
There's a pen that works. So, as
integration.
Will's taking some notes here to give you kind of the general overview of what we mean by depth versus width. Again, when we're talking about this is how we've grown our company, and this is how we do our marketing and our personal branding. So again, we speak to what we know. There's a ton of ways that work, but I definitely think that in this new age of communication and connection through social media, it's definitely the best way to go about doing it.
You're not
right?
going to go wrong. This is one
You're
of the
not going
topics.
to go wrong.
This is, by taking this approach that we're talking about, I'm not saying it's the only approach or anything like that. But what I will say is developing real relationships, old school ways of in person and things like that, and then scaling it through social media. Regardless of everything else that you're doing, paid campaigns, you're buying leads off of the internet. I'm not going to say any of that stuff is wrong, but what I will say is, in conjunction with doing that, if you're also taking this as an approach, it's not going to steer you wrong.
Yeah,
definitely not.
And to give you guys a clear example of what we mean, depth versus width. So what we're talking about is going deep with a select few customers. We'll say few's relative, of course, versus going wide and shallow and hitting more people, but not having as deep of a connection with them, right?
100%. So especially when you're first building, and we hear this a lot, no one's specific, but I've been using this example because I think it's relevant with what people say in our industry. And this doesn't just apply to our industry, but just top producers, and it's like, hey, let's just get a deal. How about we just get you a deal done?
You mean for new people coming in?
Yeah, especially for new people when you want to conquer the world. I'm not saying that you're not going to do it. I'm not going to get into that at all, right? What I am going to say is you still got to lay one brick at a time,
right?
And you want to build that pyramid, and you want your pyramid to be bigger than every other one. Hey, and that's cool. But there's still brick by brick processes. And as you get better, can you scale it? Yeah. So, for example, that's like more people laying bricks instead of you laying bricks by yourself. But I think it matters, man, like as you and I grow our career, just imagine knowing 200 people. Knowing. Don't have to see them every day.
Like really knowing them.
Yeah, but knowing their name, recognizing them, seeing them at functions, and maybe you only see them once a year. Hey, that's okay too, right? But actually knowing 200 people, and then those people know people who know people who know people, and that's where your referral base comes from.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, you and I do a ton of different things, but something that's been a huge contributor to a large amount of success for us has been referral based.
Yeah.
It came from helping someone, right, that got referred to us or bet on us, and we helped them, and we just focused on not just them. We were still doing other stuff that we didn't let a customer consume our day. So don't take it out of context, but we made sure they were taken care of, right? We had the guy that sold his condo. Don't want to mention his name. I'm not going to start name dropping people and putting them out on blast, but where we made $72,000 on a condo, man, that a guy owned for 2 years, right? And hey, look, man, that cost me $1,700 up front of my own money that I fronted him. And then we end up, I got paid back on the back end, all good, and there was a little bit of risk there, but just putting people first and letting them know they matter. And like, man, the difference between making, and we were looking at $44,000 of like equity, but with some of the improvements we did, and then knocking that thing out last spring and the timing in the market, like, I took a calculated risk to put a little bit of money into that guy's house. How much more money did it make him?
Dude, and that's life-changing money for someone
that guy
like that.
has given us like 6 referrals that we've closed.
That's that's life-changing money for somebody.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
But and I'm not saying that you got to go spend that kind of money on every client. What I'm trying to get at is just, versus trying to tackle the world and just know everyone and do all, like, hey, how about you just take care of someone that already bet on you?
Yes.
How about you just get a client and crush and be as professional and proficient as possible to where they can't keep their name out of your mouth or your name out of their mouth?
You and I have a really unique way of doing business in the sense that I think we've perfectly matched up the depth and the width, and we found a way to scale the depth.
You are getting naughty.
Well, and with us, we're seriously like a perfect blend of the old school and new school type of sales or business building. Like, we're very much face to face, handshake, get to know people,
and
go
I
have
can't
dinner,
help that.
Go to their house. That is you to a T, dude.
I love that.
Yeah,
man.
that is
I
you to
love
a
shaking
T.
hands. I love seeing clients from back in the day. I love having barbecues with them. I love showing up to guys' birthday parties for their kiddos. I think part of the fun about real estate is like it's kind of whatever you make it, right? So if you do want to have better relationships with good people, you can have them, but it also matters to them, and I think, with where you're going right now, just to kind of lead into it is, as much as we've got that old soul and old school, just natural energy for handshakes and relationships and seeing everyone, we also understand like where the times are going. You know what I mean? Like we don't get overly emotional and prideful to being a one-trick pony and just thinking that there's one answer to everything. We understand the importance of social media and having the ability to scale. And what we mean by that, guys, is, everyone that we know in person, all of these clients or future clients are just friends and family and people that we super enjoy. if you're not on my social media, I'm going to friend request you. Like
Yes.
I want you on my social media because now I don't have to talk to you all day about what I do. You're just going to see me on social media because we're friends now.
And they're going to
you know?
get to know you even
Well,
more.
in the
right?
algorithm, right? So if I'm sending you direct messages instead of a text message, it's probably for a reason. There's still value behind my direct message, right? Like maybe I'm saying what's up, or maybe you're a car guy and I'm a car guy, so I send you a photo of a cool car. But I know that communicating you through Facebook Messenger allows you to see my stuff more in your newsfeed on Facebook.
Right.
You know, and then so you've got real people that you know in real life that you want, and friends and family and old clients that you want to have on social media. So when you're doing market updates or you're talking real estate or whatever your business is, you're talking that. They can see it at their leisure. So you're top of mind and it's consistent, but it's also at their leisure. You're not breathing down their neck to throw a sales pitch. They know exactly what you do and they can watch it or pay attention to it at their leisure.
You never even have to tell them. And
No.
and this is like people that you meet at the gym, people that, you know, that I'll meet at jiu-jitsu. And then I
Everyone
don't
in
have to
person.
go around telling people I'm an agent and be that douchey guy.
Yep.
They just get on my Facebook, which is natural. And then they get to see me doing my
And
thing.
if it's not them, they know someone. Hey, dude, I got
Yeah.
a buddy who's looking at this. I saw your market update. Hey, cool, man. Like, send them my way. And so you're still relevant there. And then, you know, the flip side of that is people that you only know from social media, you know, but people that are liking your stuff or commenting, like sending them messages and just like, hey, man, appreciate the support. What's your story, dude? What are you all about? Now, the trick to that, right? And bear with me. I got a really cool trick for you. It's going to blow your mind. You actually have to care.
Oh, man.
I know.
I
So
can't
if I'm
copy
asking,
and paste, dude.
nope, you can't copy and paste. Algorithms read up on that, and even if the algorithm didn't know you were copying and pasting and kicking you off of Facebook Messenger, you should feel like a piece of shit anyway. Just take a couple of hours and send, like, look at someone's page and go, hey, man, I noticed you got a couple kids. Looks like you're an awesome dad. Like, what's your story? Like, first and foremost, I appreciate your support on the page. I appreciate your comments and your input. What's your story, man? And I actually care when I say that. And some people, man, I'll have 30, 40, 50 threads of conversation, you know, and in addition to that, like, dude, let's grab some coffee. Like, you just seem like a cool dude. Like, you go to the gym. What's your story? What are you up to? Like, I'd love to meet you. So people in person that you already know from the gym and passing, friends, family, all that, you get the point. Getting them on your social media so they can see consistently what you're up to. But yet again, it's at their leisure. Okay, where you're not forcing it down their throat and it's not the spam email. It's in their newsfeed. If they want to watch it, great. If they don't, great. But they see it and they know you're there, right? And then the other side, people you only know from social media that are supporting you and liking your stuff and that are just super active and you think they might be cool people to meet and to get to know, take the initiative, buy them lunch and just get to know them and just meet them. And dude, you and I have a couple of friends like that now and they're really good dads.
Yeah.
And I love just running stuff by them and just getting perspective and that's important. But again, now we're starting to weave where you've got the in-person stuff, you've got social media, but you're scaling it. So people that are on your social media are now your in-person. They know you're real friend. And then or acquaintance, good acquaintance. And then your people that know you're real, that you don't want to get awkward with and always talk your sales shit with. Now they're on your social media. They get to see consistent data as far as what you're up to. And again, it's at their leisure when they choose to watch it.
Now, what I think the special sauce to this magic formula
Special
is
sauce to Eli being perfectly balanced between depth and width.
what I think
You
the,
are getting
what I
crazy.
think the special sauce to
Can't
all
even
of
help
this
myself
is
today. No, you shut your mouth real quick. Are you containing yourself over there? I'm not.
Fat. He's always busting at the seams for something, man.
Yeah, he
so
is.
I know.
Don't you
Look at
put this
him
on
over there,
Fat.
just so thirsty over there.
You just. Oh man! All right, tell us about your
All right.
sauce. I'm sorry, I got
So
excited.
the special sauce to this formula of generating more business through the width of
good
social
sauce.
media. All right, we need to like break this so I can get my little clip here. The magic sauce to all of this. We have listeners that are patiently waiting right now.
Sorry,
Just
you're a good-looking dude. It's hard to talk like
No
this.
one's listening
across
right
the
now. It's
table
all
from
good.
me.
Just kidding.
Everyone is logged off.
The magic sauce to all of this, guys. If you're expecting to get any sort of depth on social media, is to get people to know you. The best way to get people to know you is through your personality. The best way to show your personality on social is through video, where people can see your facial expressions, the words that you use, your body language, the things that really help you get
How
to know
well you
somebody, how
articulate
well you
thought.
articulate, and how well you know your business and your family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Video, guys, is the X factor to all of this. So your real life friends who maybe don't get to hear you use your professional language and, you know, talk about your business and articulate it well, they get an opportunity to see you, right? Kind of perform, if you will, right? Your social media people, where maybe that's all they get to see of you when you're on video with your family and you're posting pictures of your kids and addition to your business and all that stuff, they're really getting to know you a little bit more.
They get a
having
taste.
that
They get a
blend-
sneak peek as far as who they think you are as a person.
But you as a person, dude, like when we go to meet like if, let's say Will gets a client call from somebody who doesn't know me. When I show up, hey, I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
Same thing. I show up with Will,
and
someone doesn't
especially
know him.
vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's so cool when that happens because
It does,
as you
dude.
know, there's been a couple times where you're maybe someone has to say, nah, man, Will's not what you think. You just don't know the guy yet.
Yep.
They're scared or something, man. Like, I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah.
White Claw, fake beard. I don't know, but they're scared.
Yeah.
Or if you're a bigger guy, they might have assumptions, which is more than okay. Like that's part of our survival as humans as we profile. You might be wrong as heck, right? But that's just one of those survival mechanisms. We profile humans and we try to get a feel for them. And so the more you can express yourself and just have conversations and be who you are, the better. And like for you and I think it matters. We're backed by a super luxury brand that's very respectable and well spoken about. But you and I are kind of fit and tattooed and maybe don't look like your normal realtors. But because we're backed by a super solid, reputable brand that signs off on us, that helps. And then opening our mouth and speaking on video and just talking and going through buyer phases or going through market where people get an opportunity to hear you articulate and go, okay, like those guys know their shit. Yeah, we bleed this. Yeah, I'm super confident I know my shit. And I'm super confident that nobody's going to care more than I do, right? But people aren't going to get that type of feeling off of writing about it in a photo. Not that photos and writing about it aren't important too. They are. They're one layer to this entire onion, but that video really lets people capture, who you are. And the biggest benefit you and I have had with that with a lot of our business is not only does business increase, but people feel like they already know you. And if they feel like they already know you and they decided to call you, that means they think they like you.
Yep.
And that process of helping them and them being open and engaging to some advice and some pointers that you have for them, it goes so much more smooth and allows you to crush.
Our quality of life, too, with the clients that we get to work with, there are people, because they call us and they're referred to us and they already got an opportunity to see us, see the kind of guys that we are, and they're like, yeah, I like them. They're cool people, man, and we get along, and that just makes our job so much easier. A lot of times dealing with the agent on like the other side of a transaction may not be the best. You don't get to choose that. However, when your clients come to you and they're just your type of people and you click well and you're having fun and you're like laughing half the time and you can go have drinks, it's not awkward. You can go to the kid's birthday party and it's not awkward.
But you're scaling yourself.
You're scaling yourself.
So, and I think that's, guys, what's most important is what we're talking about is like, yes, Eli and I love, messing around and being idiots and having fun. And hey, when we work, we work. When it's time to get to work and be professional and make sure contracts and everything is proficient, of course. But when it's time to have fun and get to know people, that's so much fun. Or showing people how I love being a dad. And that's fun. But guess what? It's definitely deliberate with how it's delivered to make sure that I'm scaling myself and I'm reaching, the depth of my community the best that I can in order to show people in the best way, in the best forms of who I am. And I think it's important, and then some people, and I talk to my guy, I don't call him my mentor. I don't have a mentor. I don't even know how I feel about that. That's gonna be a whole nother podcast. But one of my, I call him our big bro.
You can call him a mentor.
A man. Oh, Tosh. Tosh, if you're listening, man, Eli's getting super weird today. Oh, God, I hope you're listening. He's our mentor, right?
like
he would love that because he's big in hunting and stuff. He would love mentor.
Yeah.
Hey, figure out what time we're at so I can timestamp this. I'm literally going to directly send this mentor banter to Tosh when we get done. But,
you're welcome, Tosh.
Yeah, you're welcome for getting hit on by Eli.
Yeah.
He should be sliding into your DMs here any minute.
I'm about to. Man.
He is. He's drinking over here. He's got what's he got over there?
This is a Monster.
Cocktail?
No, it's a sugar
from your
Monster.
mentor. I get it. I appreciate that.
Cocktail.
I know I'm reaching. It's not that funny. But getting back to it, Tosh, good guy, call him like our big bro because he calls us chuckleheads. Super good dude. But he's had some really good stuff and really good podcasts. Crooked Butterfly. Great podcast where he's not answering. And what I love about his podcast is he's not trying to answer anything for you. He's just trying to get you to open your thoughts. Now, if you think he's talking about you or if you're getting insecure about it, it's not going to work for you. So not taking his podcast personal, but really allowing it to open your thoughts. And some of his comments were geared around, I can't remember what podcast it was or if it was even titled this, but during one of his podcasts, he had discussed marketing yourself. And like, is that okay? Is it not okay? We spoke about this a couple days ago when I went and saw him, and I'm like, man, that was so good because you questioning whether you should or not, and he's not saying that he doesn't. He's not saying you should or shouldn't. Just, hey, how do you go about that, and why? And I was like, man, I really trust myself in business, and when I look around, if I don't think anyone's leading, well, then I should step up and lead, and the more depth, right, I can get with my community. I'm not trying to reach everybody in Colorado. I'm just trying to reach my sphere, my friends and family, and direct people that know me on social media. I'm just trying to reach them and say, hey, I can help you. And when you look around, especially like in our industry, when there's not that much leadership, there's not that much greatness that's coming through, and there's, if there were no complaints, it'd be one thing, but there's a ton of complaints in our industry, and there's a ton of just lack of proficiency. So when you're looking around and you're not seeing any of that, why not step up and be that leader? So I feel super good when we market ourselves and show who we are as people, because I trust that we're going to take care of that process for you. And I trust myself that if I can't help you, or if I don't think I'm best for you, then I'm going to speak up and say that, because that's my integrity to make sure I do so. And I trust myself with that, and I love how it expanded my thoughts and actually confirmed why it's okay to still market yourself as long as the intent comes from a good place. And not only just intent, like another thing him and I expanded on is that I was like, man, where I think things are good and bad is people's intent. And he goes, I don't think so. He goes, I don't give a fuck about it. And I go, really? And he goes, I want them to be honest about their intent. And I go, man, I think that's what I'm actually trying to say. I just wasn't there yet. Not to take credit for what he was saying. I just think I was getting there, and maybe it'd take me a couple months to get there, but he's already there. And he's like, dude, I don't care if it's someone's intent to sell or quick sell or long, whatever it is. He goes, I just don't like when people aren't honest and upfront and they become deceitful as far as what they do. And I think in real estate, I think where you can become deceitful is when you don't have the integrity, when you're not the best person for the job and you don't speak up, you still try to take it thinking that you can fake it till you make it. That's where, like, the honesty behind your intent,
and
it starts getting dark.
And in that particular situation, it's one thing if you don't have the answer right now, but you have the resources and you're resourceful enough to figure it out and still do a phenomenal job. That's different. What I think, again, kind of what Will's alluding to in a different perspective here is, and we've all been in this situation, so you guys will definitely know what I'm talking about, is when that friend you went to high school with, or that girl you knew in high school and you haven't talked to her in 12 years, hits you up in your DM, hey, long time, how you been?
Oh, shit.
Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I've been good. How are you? Awesome. I'm making so much money with this team.
I'm partnering with this trillionaire business.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is. Whatever the hell it is. And then would love for you to jump in and, don't miss out on the opportunity. Whatever the hell their line is. That's not what you want to do, right?
You remember Raphael? No-no. Remember Raphael? Was it Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles? When they're like role playing, and he's like, you dirty rat. You killed my father. Like when someone hits you up on your DM, you haven't seen him since high school.
Dude.
Hey, what's up, man? And you're like,
damn it.
Hey, what's up? And you're like, oh boy, I'm good, man. Like, cool, man. Glad you're good. Like, okay, maybe it's cool. Maybe it's cool. Like, I've partnered with this billionaire who's an executive of it, and you're just like, you dirty rat.
Dude, you are.
Oh, so
you get
mad.
a link for some YouTube
And I'm like,
webinar.
listen, dude, you wouldn't even make it to third period science class. No billionaire's not linking up with you. You're just part of the attrition, man. Cut it out. But, that's where, so if you guys are doing DMs and having conversations, there, I guess full disclosure here, like with how Elon and I happen to operate part of our business is, we're not looking for a direct ROI. Like I super enjoy building relationships, man, because, being in the Marine Corps for a long time and going on deployments and living out of state and living in several different states, like I lost touch with a lot of people for 8-9 years, doing government work. Good luck. You don't even know anyone. You're just off the radar. On top of that, doing police work and working graveyards. Yep. Back home, no one even knows I'm here. Working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, graveyard shift, right? 10 at night to 8 in the morning. Like, now you don't have any friends.
Yeah.
Well, outside of your guys that are on the street with you because they're all vampires like you. But so for me, context on me is like, dude, I love getting back to just seeing people again and like they got kids and having fun and just really engaging. Like it's genuine for me.
That's interesting. I've never thought of that about you, but I think you're exactly right, dude.
Did I know myself? I think you're right.
No, just right. I've never looked at it that way. That's like, oh yeah, you actually do, because Will is great at just keeping in touch with people and meaning it, and then hey, like, let's swing by. These people got this going on. Okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
I have to pay more attention, and it's not as natural for me.
You're just a spoiled first world person.
Yeah, it's just not as natural for. But I have.
Well, it's just because I've got that context.
Yeah, you've got
of that,
different perspective.
and just being a cop. Not only was I not around friends and a lot of family and things like that, the people I were around, like, look, man, the cops aren't getting called because you're at your best. I'm kind of around a lot of degenerates.
Right.
So now that I'm around, so like the new people that we get to meet through business, I'm excited to meet them too, because people that are usually buying homes are at their best, or one of their best times in their life, because they're squared away and their money's in a good spot, and or they're close. Maybe they need some credit repair, but we get them pointed in the right direction with the right people, and we got to help them with that last little bit to get them in the right place. I'm just so happy about being around humanity in a good light.
Yep.
Man, I eat it up. I eat it up. So, but at the same time, as much as I eat it up and I have fun with it, I also understand it. Look, man, we're doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. I don't need you to buy a house tomorrow.
You can't have any.
I don't even need you to have a friend to buy a house tomorrow. All I do know is, like, if I'm standing in front of you through social media and through interactions, like real human interactions, and I'm respectable. So I got to earn my keep. So if we're consistent within the market and we're proficient and we're up to date and we attack what we do, that means I'm earning my value as far as a professional. Secondly, if I'm continuing to earn your friendship by being around and being relevant and actually caring about our relationship, when that time comes, you're going to think of me. Or if you have friends or family, when their time comes and they mention it to you or in passing or you're talking, you're still going to think of me and refer it out. And just some context, you know, like last year's fourth quarter, hitting top 1% in the nation for production. This year, like with where we're at production, like we have real numbers. And we're not spending a dime on Zillow or Realtor.com. Not against that model. And I'm only giving a humble brag because we have top 1% real numbers, like legit accolades that we still have a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and act like we're done.
But with 0 leads.
But what we're talking about, you know, I want to throw that humble brag out there just to give you guys some context on the real numbers we're actually hitting. Like, this is not some backyard bullshit. I did a deal last year. No, not at all. Like, hitting that top 1% last year during last year's fourth quarter, like that's super admirable, especially, man, like you and I, this month is our year anniversary.
And that was actually most homes sold units in Colorado. We're still 1%.
Top 1%. Yeah. So there was a top 1% nationwide, and then there was the most homes sold in Colorado.
Yeah. That's what we got in fourth quarter.
So we were number one in Colorado, top 1% nationwide. Right. Yeah. So, and again, man, like you still have to maintain that. Like you got to keep pushing and keep pushing forward. And, you know, that's yesterday, not today. I get it. And again, I think everyone listening to our podcast knows we're not the brag type. Like, we're super proud of what we accomplished, but that's not the point of this podcast. But when we're talking our process and when we're talking about methods at work, I am so against fat gym teachers. It's not even funny. I will not be on a podcast and at least not give or shed a little bit of light on how proficient we are. So you guys listening at least have context that know, like, hey, these guys are the real deal. They're not just blowing smoke right in their mouth. No, like, I definitely want you to know, no, we're turning real numbers with how we're doing this, or I wouldn't even open my mouth. But again, because of the nature of business and marketing and how people run their mouth, there are people that run their mouth that don't have numbers. And I would never want to be construed in that theater. So just a humble brag there, but to give some context on, hey, we're actually doing a good job.
Yeah. Well, and again, when it comes to quality of life and building a sustainable business where you're not reliant on a third party, hands down, this is the best way to go about it. But like Will said, the price to pay is having zero expectations as far as people that you're engaging with. Your friends, family, you have to be genuine in the way that you're engaging with them, and you can't have any expectations, and you have to be prepared to invest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years into somebody. But if it's genuine, it shouldn't matter to you anyway, right? If they're a true friend, it shouldn't matter to you.
And especially when they're friends. And here's the other thing. We've covered this topic. We've had people get super upset when their friends didn't use them. And it's like, hey.
Oh, you hear that shit all the time, dude.
Yeah, but then we've had people that have used us that have friends that are realtors. They met us through a referral, but they only knew us as professionals at that point, right? And they've conveyed to us, like, we just don't want our friends, like, knowing our credit score and our income and certain things.
And that's fair.
And we just don't want our friendship to go bad.
Yeah.
Well, now we're friends with them. However, the difference is they met us and we were able to prove a job proficiency first. Now they're okay to, like, have that friendship, and there's some trust there with being proficient. But if friends aren't using you, do your best. Like, don't take that personal. They might not even be thinking of you, remembering you, or if they do and you know, no, hell no, it's my cousin. He knows I'm a realtor. Okay. But understand, like, there might just be some underlying factors that you don't know about that make them a little cautious to use you, and it might not have anything to do with you.
And it just doesn't matter.
Well, it don't matter, because what are you going to do? Call them out? They're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so wrong, I should use you?
And here's the thing.
Now it's just awkward.
Friendship, family needs to be bigger than any check, and you just need to be a grown adult and say, hey, it doesn't matter why they didn't use me. Yeah. I've got business elsewhere, and your relationship with them should not change.
We've had people not use us.
Oh, yeah.
And then it went terrible, and they sent us 2 referrals.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that there's friends of mine that have bought with another agent, and I just didn't even know about it ever, and that's 1,000%
Or they give a family member an opportunity. But again, I think I think the piece to that is that can get so layered and so convoluted. The time you're going to put stressing about it could be time you're putting into being productive in your business. But again, and I'm sure you got a couple more topics here. I'm looking at some of your notes. I don't understand any of them, so I'm going to let you read them. But my biggest thing when we're talking about depth versus width, it's getting deep within your community. It's your kids' school and actually meeting those parents. It's your gym. It's events that are around your friends and your family and your sphere, and it's people from your social media that already support you. Meet them in real life.
Yep.
Get out and meet them. So again, even if you're only getting in front of 100 people, but you really know them, and there's a testament to that. Like on our videos, like we do these Facebook Live videos, we get 250 to 500 views on them. But we got 2 buyers from one the other day.
Yeah.
And prior to that, we've had 2 listings from a video. Prior to that, we're not getting the most views. But here's the deal. Is getting 10,000 views because you boosted a video like valid? No. It could be. I'm making a blanket statement right now. So I'm not going to say that not boosting or paid campaign videos, I'm not going to say they don't work. I'm not going to say that at all, right? Like we'd have to specifically look at someone's campaign and who they are, but we do know people that have gotten 10,000 views and get nothing from it.
Especially in the real estate industry.
100%.
It's totally different.
And then you have you and I who don't pay to boost those at all. We get 500 views and we got 2 buyers. We get 400 views and got 2 listings. So again, it's not so much the total view, the width of trying to get across to 10,000 people who might watch it for 3 seconds. It's the depth of, we got 400 views. But out of those 400 views, those were like real people that were really watching, that respect what we do, that respected enough to reach out. So our conversion on our numbers, it's asinine. But again, it's because we've done a really good job at getting in front of people in real life and having people that are on a social media, whether we've met them yet or not, respect what we're doing and take us serious enough to actually reach out versus you got 10,000 views and you don't know one of them because it's a paid campaign and it's targeted to somewhere you don't even work.
And the thing is, not only do you have to get in front of people, but you have to stay in front of those people.
Great point.
And the way that I look at this, like look at direct mail, right? Direct mail in the 70s and 80s and 90s for that matter. I mean, fuck, it still is. What was a huge source of business, not anymore, but 70s, 80s, huge source of business for realtors, right? Because you didn't have the ability to send a video out to your 200 friends as oftentimes as you wanted to, you kind of had to take the spray and pray approach and throw your little best headshot and look as good as you can. You got one fucking shot and you're direct mailing all those people. Even then, you still had to do it every month or people forget about you. Video, in my opinion, is like direct mail that's 1,000 times better. A, it's only going to people that you know. B, you can bring true value. C, here's my intention with the video. I don't give a shit if we get how many views or anything like that. All I care about is that when somebody is scrolling through their phone, they scroll right past my video, but there's that 1/100th of a second where someone sees your face. Oh, Eli and Will,
active
real estate, scroll by. But 1/100th of a second, that registered.
They know you're there.
They could do that shit for 5 years.
And when it's important, videos, when they want to, or when it's important, they'll watch. But
they're going to stop on it.
They scroll past it. They know you're relevant. They know they know you're consistent. And when you're talking about mailers, I think to just give some apples to apples as far as like when you say like videos like your mailer, doing like quarterly updates or specific videos to like an email list reminds me of a mailer.
Yes.
Social media is just completely different than a mailer. Like it's going to a lot. It's a lot more interactive. But I think like a hard mailer to a house is very similar to like a direct email that you send to past clients or future clients. And look, that's still relevant too. It's okay to have an email list that gets a different video that nobody from your social media gets because it's intimate. They know it pops up. If they want to watch it, they watch it. If they don't, they don't. And as long as you're bringing value, right, like to that relationship, and as long as they don't just see you when you have a quarterly update and you're asking for business, as long as there's other interaction in between these market updates or in between anything else that you're doing, as long as they still have some form of a pop-by gift or a phone call, hey, man, how you doing? I'm thinking of you. And
real stuff
in between your market updates. Like this is where you're no longer cliche and people take you serious and they think of you and they want to work with you.
Right.
Bottom line, man.
And the way I refer, why I refer to it as like your direct mail is because even if your friends, like them scrolling by is equivalent to just looking at it and throwing it in the trash can. Yeah. But that's okay. That's why you mail that same house.
And that's why you give a free Tokyo Joe's on the back of that bitch. You don't throw free Tokyo Joe's out.
That's right.
All my Asian clients to get a Tokyo Joe's. Buy one, give them free fat. Shit.
We do that.
You're not throwing that out, are you?
We do that.
Hell no. He's shaking his head. Hell no, you don't throw that out. Hell no.
So
So with that being said, at some point, so now there's a great question here too, because like, hey, well, how do you keep in touch with all those people? Oh, you guys got 5,000 past clients. How the fuck you do that? That's a great question. We still do pretty good at business. There's a systematic approach. There's a back end that keeps people housed, right?
You work in a CRM,
CRM, right? And this isn't just for real estate. You know, we've got friends, like we got a buddy, man, that runs a supplement company. And it's kind of like multi-level marketing, but they have like ambassadors, and ambassadors get codes. And if that ambassador gets people to purchase under their code, they get you know, rewards from that. Okay, well, that person could have a back end, couldn't they?
Yeah.
You're talking to me people about protein and fat burners and this supplement, and it's more of like an ambassador campaign. Dude. You don't think that people you come across in the gym, at your church, at work, someone that's commenting on your social media videos because you're showing the product while you're using it and the benefits of it, and people are reaching out and engaging with you. You don't think you could add every single person to a back end? You're just hoping that your Facebook Messenger takes care of it.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, I'm getting you started, bro.
CRMs, dude.
Give me that bean beater. We're getting started.
Like, okay, for the record, guys, if you have a business 101, get a damn CRM.
For the record, it's a vape.
If you guys don't know what a CRM is, it's a customer relationship manager. It's a good way. It's a fancy address book where you can set reminders to contact people. Is basically what it is. If you have any sort of business
tracks sales
at all, you have any business at all, get a damn CRM.
Yeah, and people that have used it before, it tracks sales, it tracks their patterns. Like you, and again, like I love real phone calls, right? But at some point, you have 10 past clients, and then 20, and then 50, and then 150, and then 500. Okay, well, if they're all housed, and if there's alarms, right, where I can set them for every 30 days or 60 days or 30 days after closing, or this or that, or birthdays, or just randoms, right? Like making sure that every 17 days people get like there's ways to do that. And again, that automated system's not going to call them. I'm going to call them, but I'm going to get an alert that says, hey, these 5 people haven't been contacted in a little while.
Yes.
And then here's the deal. Maybe one of them I choose not to call. I'm like, fuck him, he's a Raider fan. I don't know, right? Like, I'm going to make that decision.
Or 3 of them you've already talked to
that
week.
Relationship just fell short. Like, he got, maybe I know him because he was dating some chick who knew Kate, but then he cheated on her. Like, it's not
just
cool to talk to
weird
anymore.
If you keep,
whatever. But then I can delete him out of my system.
Yeah.
I can keep cleaning, right? I can spring clean my back end. Yeah. But the bottom line is just, shut up, dude. He's like, this is a dirty podcast.
That made me laugh.
Sorry, I'm spring cleaning my back end after. Whatever. Anyway. I digress. Back to topic here. Just having a systematic approach and just understanding that no matter how much you're a people person and you love getting out to birthdays, you might have those 15, 20 people that you just love engaging with that you're always going to engage with, and they're going to send you referrals. But some of those people they refer to you, you're really going to like.
Yep.
And at some point, you're going to have 200 prior clients. So do you want to just keep talking to 20 and it's a revolving door? Or you want to have a systematic approach that makes sure, to the best of your ability, you're staying in touch throughout the year with 200 clients now. It's scaled. So if that is scaled, you've got to scale yourself, and having that CRM, right, that systematic approach for alerts and reminders and keeping yourself organized, you know, like that's huge. So this is something where we get into like that. You know, I don't want to call it modern technology. There's some really good CRMs out there.
Yeah.
That are probably more modern. But again, it's a hybrid. I'm not just sending you a happy year anniversary postcard for buying your fucking house.
Yeah.
No. I'm using that technology to give me reminders to go get personal.
Yes.
So it's still a hybrid.
Yep.
This is still the same of how we treat real people and keep them on our social media. Our social media, we want to meet them in person, and we're integrating both of those, and we're scaling that. It's the same thing with the back end. I'm going to use modern technology that most people don't use to keep in touch. It's the cliche just to pop by gift or your magnet or your happy anniversary, but there's just no interaction.
Nothing. Dude, honestly, if anyone is doing those things, you're doing way better than the majority of people. Most people, they do one deal with somebody, and this is all sales.
You're right.
And they're fucking gone, dude.
You're right.
They're gone.
And full disclosure, I'm not against football magnets. We got some from our team. They're phenomenal. I'm all for it. I'm all for pop by gifts.
One little thing.
What I'm getting at is, if it's just those and there's no actual human interaction in between your gifts every quarter or once a year, it looks like you're keeping in touch out of obligation because you want business from them, not because you actually like them. And then here's the deal. You do a deal with someone and then you just don't like them, don't follow up with them.
Yeah, no.
Just say, hey, man, I really appreciate your time. This was awesome. Like, cool. You don't owe anyone anything. So don't spend time on negative people, or don't spend time on people that didn't have a good vibe. Like, fine.
Yep.
But you're going to have a chunk of really good people, especially if you're scaling yourself on social media and people really feel like they know who you are. You and I, we've had like one client that just didn't have a good vibe with us, right? And like, whatever, his fault.
And nothing even happened. It just wasn't.
I blame him.
Nothing even happened. It was it just didn't vibe.
Just completely
It
different.
was a business transaction.
100%.
And that's all right.
And it was all good.
Yep.
But everyone else we do. So I would hate to just keep in touch with 10 people and make everyone else feel like they're inferior or not as important.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do keep in touch with them, it's the obligatory year anniversary to your house or the obligatory happy birthday gift card. No, man. Like I want to use that back end to send some alerts to myself to make sure that I'm still having human interaction.
Yeah.
And again, the tricky part, I really do want to do that, man. Like I really do enjoy the people we work with. So
because
it's
they
not
come
cliche.
to us and they're referrals and they're our type of people. Like guys, that's the whole thing. Like just doing business this way. All the other kind of business troubles that you see with like client follow up and just not doing what you should be doing, all just becomes so much more natural and easy to do. And it's people that you genuinely like. It all just works so much better.
And so we're averaging, might be more. I say 2 to 3. I know for sure it's 2 to 3 referrals per client.
That's about right.
It could be more right now. We're on a pretty good run, but being modest,
Average across the board. That's about right.
being modest, we're averaging 2 to 3 referrals per client that have closed, not just a phone number, that have actually turned into a real deal. So again, like proof in the pudding, and it just to let you guys know, right? Like if someone cares for you, if they're in your sphere, or you're in your immediate area through the gym or someone else, they already feel like they know you better than some stranger on Zillow.
Yes.
They already want to work with you. So if you crush, people love being your biggest fan.
They do.
People love talking about you and bragging, saying, hey, I know the best realtor. Or I know the best whatever you are. I know the best detail guy. I know the best. I got a buddy who does dent repair. Okay, and he'll get you in and out, and he'll get your car done in a month. Like he's got good systems, and you don't have to wait for 6 months like every other hail damage place, right? Guess what? Anytime someone has something on Facebook, man, he does a great job. He doesn't owe me any. I just love bragging about him. He's a good dude. Well, it's the same thing, right? Don't forget what it feels like to be a customer. When you have someone in your sphere that you've known for a couple of years and they treat you special and they respect you and they crush for you, you love bragging about them. You want to brag. So you have other people out there in your network that start becoming your biggest fan, you know, and then they refer you.
Yes.
And then now that person uses you, but then that person that got referred to you is going to know people that your original friend didn't know. So you're opening yourself up into a spider web of just different
interest,
networks. Right. But again, it all starts from just take care of a fucking deal. Well, just get a deal done and make sure you're good at what you do before you try to conquer this world.
Here's the thing. So Will nailed it right there. In order for word of mouth to be effective, you have to give your client a story to tell somebody. I'm not going to talk to my workout partner about somebody that just did their job. There's no story. There's no reason for me to, I'm not going to bad talk him, but there's no reason for me to go out of my way to tell my buddy at work or the guy I'm working out with, nothing happened, right?
Right.
If I'm working with us, I'm working out with my buddy, right? I be like, yo, I met these 2 guys last night.
I swear they're gay.
I swear they're gay. They seem to, they claim to be married. I swear they're gay, but they know their shit. And we had the best buyer presentation. They gave me more information than any realtor's ever given me. Then we went out and looked at homes, had a phenomenal time, found this one. They're super, it's just like, you wouldn't believe these guys. They're hilarious.
And you got to crush. And that's the whole thing is you can't, you have to have a story, right? Of just being unique. And I think being unique and being yourself and being genuine is gonna tell some form of a story.
And go above and beyond.
In addition, right? Because no matter what, you still have to do a good job. It doesn't matter if you're super awesome, but your restaurant sucked.
Nope.
Okay. No. Everything else has to go exactly right, and you got to have a great restaurant. Or at that point, there's the story, it's
not a good story. It's not a good story.
At all,
and
man.
Dude, and that's the classic thing of why 5 people will complain about something versus every one person saying a positive review, right? Yeah. Because with negative, there's a story to tell. That's why it's easy. People want to tell a story. They want a little drama. You can do that on the flip side, on the positive side of things. If you just go above and beyond, do shit that maybe they don't expect you to do, shoot them a nice text message if you see something on their Facebook that's special.
I think, so for example, right, and I've used this before, you go on a date nowadays and you get a girl's door.
Right. Oh. Yep.
Well, thank you. Right? Because apparently that is just out of this world kind. For me, I've been with Kate forever, dude. Right? I still get her door. Yeah, it's just something that, right?
Megan always asks me about that.
Oh, so am I diming you out,
when are you
Megan?
Gonna start getting my door like Will does for Kate?
Yeah. But maybe she's she makes a point to grab her own door.
No,
That's a lie.
No, I'm so bad with that. Like, here's the thing,
dude. For the first time, I accidentally dimed Eli out on a podcast.
I'll like if I'm home, if he's got a poopy diaper, I'm changing it. If he's doing, if Megan's tied up, I'll bathe him. Like I'll do.
Okay, so I'm using one form of an example, but there's other stuff you do.
But with the car, dude,
you're not an entire.
I don't even like
shit.
putting him in this damn car seat. I'll hand him to Megan. I'm like, hey, you got that? I'll go sit in the front. I'm
like, no, I do that as well, but I just watch and I get Kate's door.
Yeah,
but again,
I could at least do that part.
And this is one example, not to throw you under the bus here. There's probably other things. I'm praying there's other things you do that still make up for it. But the point that I'm getting at is, there is a lack of just customer service and just actually genuinely caring, right? Like, and just that want to do a good job. And if you're just being yourself and you really are put in whatever industry that you're doing and you're crushing and you genuinely care about people and your own integrity, like when you put your name on something, whether it's your name on a deal, it's your name on a relationship, that no matter what, like you do the best you can with the integrity that you do have, that's going to tell a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, you don't have to save someone and jump in front of a car while you're out at showings. Okay. Like not that. Maybe, I don't know.
Be a good person, dude.
Just super caring. I think it bleeds. Yeah. I think being genuine and just caring, I think it bleeds.
Be a good person,
and people want that.
And take care of your client, man. And
that's
the thing, dude.
Go deep with them.
Well, that brings me to my last point. So, depth
Are you
versus
taking my
width.
line?
Depth versus width. Did you have a last line?
No, I just usually say that first.
Oh, gotcha. Brings me to my last point.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me give you your notebook.
Depth versus width is good. How that can apply to all areas of your life. And this is where we'll get a little hippie with it, right?
Wait, I got a last line too. Keep talking.
When you're a new father, go deep as shit on that, right?
Wait, hold on a minute. What do you mean? Not in a perverted way.
Learn how to be a good father. Think about how you can be a better father. When you're getting into sports or taking on a new thing, go deep into that sport.
Or
what you're doing.
If you're an entrepreneur, before you want to get 10,000 views and have all of Denver metro area do a deal with you, make sure you know how to do a fucking deal.
Yes.
Make sure you're good at it. Make sure you've got some things and some reps on your belt and you can actually sign off that you can handle yourself at scale. Mm-hmm. And my last point, depth is width.
Explain.
Bro. Fat. Depth is width. Here's what I mean. You choose to use me.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. I do a deal and we do really well. And I crush for you. And you then tell someone at your gym.
Okay.
Who's looking to buy. They know you, but then they also know other people. Correct? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get opened up to another network. And then that person uses me, but then recommends someone. And then now that person that your friend recommended, you don't even know this guy.
Yep.
And then he's got a network.
You're going
so
wide.
we're talking about that spiral or that spider web, correct? So you are going wide. You're just not trying to tackle it all at once. By going deep, you go wide.
Right. That's true.
Okay, like it's more indirect.
Yep.
But you're gonna get there.
Yep.
Right? Especially like in Denver or any other place that's similar to Denver. Like it's big and small at the same time. If you're just taking care of people and you go deep and you build those relationships, you're going to get transactions. You're going to get business. You're going to get successful. And at some point, you are going to end up going wide. How you can do both, right? Like leveraging your social media, leveraging your email book, like your book of business and sending out quarterlies with video, but you bringing value to that, setting up your CRM to where you're reminding people or you're reminding yourself to have interactions with people and making people's kids, like you want to do something special, make their kid's birthday, not theirs. Say happy birthday to them or whatever. And if you can make it great, but if you make things for people's kids, super important.
Yeah.
But by having that approach of going deep, indirectly, you end up going super wide. Everyone is kind of tied to each other. It just takes time. And here's the deal. That's the only way to go. With social media nowadays, hypothetically, let's say you scale yourself and you boom, I go wide. Okay. If you don't know what you're doing, going wide and getting popular and getting known, you can get known for the wrong thing. You can get known for being a piece of shit. And now, you're done.
That's true.
You are done. Right? So it's, even if you think like it's possible and pay campaigns and just get out there and get in front of everyone, and all, okay, just understand that there's pros and cons to highlighting yourself. And if you have no idea what you're doing, if you haven't done the reps, and if you're not staying in your lane, and you do a terrible job, look, man, you think people brag about good news? Do something dumb.
No kidding.
Watch how quick that goes. So I think it's super important to understand, there's different approaches, and I'm not going to argue the fact that you can spend a ton of money and scale yourself through paid campaigns, and LinkedIn is the thing now. I'm getting everywhere. be super careful getting everywhere before you actually have a grasp on your proficiency and before you really have integrity, knowing you can handle that workload and that you do a good job. So again, if you're taking the approach of depth and you're doing it right and you're just focusing on taking care of people and laying brick by brick by brick, and as you lay bricks, scale yourself on social media, not just do paid campaigns to know everyone. No. People that you start meeting. This referral that I get from you, why is he not my friend on Facebook?
Yep.
Once I meet him and have a good time with him, we're building like, why is he not my friend on Facebook? And then my friends on Facebook and Instagram that are interacting with me, why have I not tried to meet him in person yet? So again, I'm using those platforms to scale myself with depth. Does that make sense?
And the shroud over all of this is that you guys have to be genuine and you have to actually care about that person.
And you got to still do a good job.
People are smarter than you think. They're more intuitive than you think. And you may think you're being, shiesty or whatever, or, hey, I can go and schmooze them at this. No, people know. You have to be genuine. You have to show up, have no expectation, and continue that relationship even after that person's given you no referrals. Like we have for as many referrals we get from our clients, the people where we haven't gotten referrals for whatever reason,
still homies.
Hell yeah. Yes. Zero expectation.
Well, and here's the deal, dude. People don't buy houses every day. So just because you don't have a referral for me right away doesn't mean they're not coming. It just means, look, man, people buy houses less often than they buy cars or shoes.
Yes.
It doesn't happen every day.
Or maybe you're just not the type of person that talks around people all the time.
Yeah. Ironically, we had a client who's given us 6 or 7. And we've had some that have given us 1. But that guy that gave us 6 or 7, he might not have another one for 9 years. Who knows, right?
Well, and he's not getting more attention than the guy who's given us 1 or none.
Everyone's getting it. There's a systematic approach. But again, man, it's just fun getting to know people. But again, guys, depth does equal width at some point. At some point, that depth will reach your width. It's just how you go about it. And it might take longer per se, but when you start meeting everyone and you do accomplish that width, you're the rock star of what you do. And people trust you. You've done the time. You've put the time in. You're proficient. You're respectable. You've earned every relationship that you have. You're a rock star. You spend all that money. You scale yourself. I'm not going to sit here and say that paid campaigns don't work. I get it. You can definitely scale yourself and be a dipshit. The problem is once you being a dipshit gets exposed,
you're done.
It's really hard to work past that.
Yeah,
people love bragging about you and giving you referrals. Yep, even more so, people love talking about their shitty day and how shitty you made it because you're shitty.
Yes, they do.
With that being said, don't be shitty.
Be a good person.
Be a good person.
Thanks
Hope this is a good podcast for you guys. We will be back, obviously, next week. Take this one, simmer on it, take some notes, reflect on it. There's a lot that goes into this as far as business. Just make sure you're doing the right things.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Out.
See you Monday.